Hey everybody. Sorry, I didn't realize I'd already gone live. So I'm going to take a minute to just do a little camera adjustment here. There we go. Sorry, I'm making y'all dizzy. This is what I always say. This is the hardest part about live streams, is getting your camera adjusted. There we go in too. So I had used it. Yeah, you put hearts in your windows so kids that are walking can kind of look at what's fine. Today likes that blade is actually bad. I sharpened it, but there's actually a problem with the blade itself. So hey Renee, good to see you here. Anyway, so Cricket and I had a fight. I ended up, because I live in a state where we are have a stay-at-home order, and craft stores are not considered essential depending on where you live. In my particular city, they've closed the only craft store we had. I live in a smaller city, which was Joann's. So I got on Joann.com, ordered a blade and some ATG. I've scrapbooked so much in the last month that I've actually gone through a lot of my adhesive. So hey Virginia, good to see you. Thanks for joining. So I just looked at it before I came on. I scrapbooked 132 pages in the month of March. So I did 61 of them at a crop that I was at right before St. Patrick's Day for the weekend. And then the rest of them, I basically did most of the rest of them after that because I've been off for 2 weeks. So, hello, hot mama. That's kind of funny to say that, but welcome. Anyway, so yeah, that is progress. So the cool part is, I should show you guys this. This is how I store my photos. These are Cropper Hopper photo keepers. And when I went to that crop, I had 5 of these. They all were pretty much full. 2 of them, well, 3 of them actually, this one and then this one and another one, were so full I couldn't get anything in them. This is what I have left to scrapbook. So I wanted to finish my great nephew's baby book. So through his first year, that's done. And then I wanted to get my grandchildren's family photo albums done through not even done through 2019, but I wanted to work on them. I realized the other day that I have 4 photographs to scrap for that. So I have been doing a ton of scrapbooking, which is why I was running out of adhesive. So there's adhesive coming. It'll be here in a week, and a new blade coming for my Cricut so we can stop fighting, because I can't cut anything. It's making like indentations in the paper now. And I took it out once, I sharpened it, and then took it out again because it still wasn't working, and realized what the problem was. So anyway, so let's talk about what I'm going to do tonight for a layout, and welcome everybody that's on. Hope you guys are well, both physically and mentally, because that itself, I'm going to adjust the camera just a little bit for you. That in itself is a bit of a struggle right now for some of us who are at home. And if you're not, thank you for doing whatever it is that you're doing, because it means you're essential workers. So this is a photo of he who shall be called M number 4. If you don't know this, all my grandchildren's first names begin with M's. And this is a little, his mom posted this picture. So my daughter-in-law posted this picture with this really cool, just some things about him when he was a month old, almost 2 months old, with this darling picture of him. And I copied and saved her Facebook post because it's a letter to him. Actually, his name is right there. So he's Maddox Phillip. He's named after, Maddox is an M, but then Phillip is my stepson's name. So he's named after his daddy. So anyway, she posted this, and I thought it was really important to save that for him. So in the, in the future, he's going to really, that'll be really important to him, especially because he's number 4. and so they don't get nearly as much attention. Thanks, Renee. He is pretty adorable. And oh my gosh, thanks, Annie. That's really sweet. I should show you. I have a picture of him from earlier in the week. My number 3 grandchild, who is my only granddaughter, had a birthday on Tuesday. So I'm going to grab, because I think, so this, he's a month old. He's now 9 months old. So this is Maddox now. So he's definitely looking, and he is, so all my grandchildren have dark hair and brown eyes, like really dark brown hair and brown eyes. This guy, blue eyes, hard to tell here, but he has very blue eyes, and his hair is brown, but it's light brown. So pretty awesome. He's like his own person for sure. And he's the most chill child I've ever met. So anyway, so hey Glenda, nice to see you. And yeah, he is a cutie. I mean, I'm super partial in all of that, of course. So guys, so here's the deal, by the way, you're joining me for a Friday night crop. If you have an alcoholic beverage or an adult beverage, A-okay. So I do. And then I'm in my pajamas already. It has been a day, even though I'm at home not doing a heck of a lot. So anyway, yeah, I do believe I'm really lucky, because these are my stepson's kids, and I am no longer married to his dad, but I am very, very close to their family. So that's pretty cool. So let's talk about layout. His little sleeper here has blue stars on it. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to pick that up, but they're blue stars. And when I saw this picture, I knew this Echo Park Hello Baby paper would be perfect for that. It's the back of the journaling card paper. And so I've had this photo to scrap for a long time, because this goes back to August of last year, but I needed to print this. And sometimes when I print, I've done this before where I've printed things that my daughter-in-law has written to the kids. Kind of, she's done a Facebook post and written them. And then I save, anytime she does that, I save those, because I think it's really important for the children in general, or whoever she's talking to see that that's what she thought about it, because Facebook might go away, and or those posts are going to be really hard to find someday. So I save them, and she does know that. Both my stepson and daughter-in-law know that that I steal from Facebook all the time, and they willingly want me to do it. So anyway, I thought this was important. Sometimes when I print stuff like this, just to give you a little hint, sometimes I will print it on a transparency so that it can go on a transparency background, and it'll lay just over the top, so it's really just the journaling and not a white card. And sometimes I print it like this. In this particular case, I just printed it on photo paper, because I know that that is this photo paper is archivally safe. So that's why I did that way. So this really is her post. Then, as I was thinking about doing this earlier today while I was fighting with my Cricut, thinking I was going to go live at 4 instead of 7, whatever, 30-ish, I remembered I had this acrylic word from Bella Boulevard that said gratitude. Say, hey, Brittany, good to see you joining us. And I thought this would be the perfect layout to use it on, because she's expressing gratitude about who he is already as a person at a month old. And then lastly, I have these thickers, which are Grayson thickers, and they came with, I don't remember what kind. It was a baby collection, baby boy collection, but I don't remember which one it was. So I have the word mom here, and the word congrats here. So, and then numbers left. So I think that what I'm going to do is use the mom here and just say mom gratitude up here, and then somehow put this in a block together here. So the first thing I need to do, obviously, is to cut off that border strip there. So how's everybody doing tonight? And is anybody scrapbooking with me tonight, or are you guys just hanging out? Because gosh knows we need some just hanging out too, right? I've scrapbooked this week. I scrapbooked a ton on Monday and Tuesday while Calvin Ball was still going on, and then have definitely slowed down a little bit. I needed some of that because, you know, 132 layouts in the month of March. And I needed to get some stuff done around my house. So the next thing I'm going to do is, this particular collection has a plaid pattern. So I'm hoping that I still have a piece of that left. So that's what I'm doing. I've got my Crapper Hopper envelope out here. Oh, cool. I love that you are scrapping. Scrappy Peds Doc. God bless you if you are really a pediatric doc right now. So I have a really good friend whose husband is a pediatric ER doc in Minneapolis. And we were talking to that group of friends met via Zoom last night, and we were talking to him, and he said actually it's okay for him. It's a little quieter than normal just because nobody's going out, but still, God bless you. Anybody in the medical field. I have a sister who's a nurse right now, and she is an educator, so she's not in an ER or anything like that, but her main area of expertise is in an ICU, so you can kind of imagine what she's doing right now. She's doing a lot of training of nurses who are going to end up in ICUs in the Milwaukee area probably in the next 2 weeks. So, okay, so this is also the Hello Baby collection. It is the Sleepers paper. I think it is because if I remember correctly, it has sleepers on the back. And hey, you guys, I just remembered to look at the date on the back of the photo because I am going to want that. Yeah. Look at that, cute. It's all sleepers. So, oh my gosh. Well, God bless you, seriously, for working in the medical field right now, because I can't even imagine. So, actually, I should be careful about that. I am a massage therapist, but as much as my work tends to be in rehab, I really do a ton of rehab work and people who have chronic pain. That's mostly what I do. I am not working at the moment because I'm concerned about my client's health at the moment. So anyway, but God bless those of you in the medical field that are still working. All right, so just kind of getting this all narrowed up here. And I think I'm just going to do one large block here. So I'm looking at this, and this edge needs to blend a little bit better. There needs to be some shading here. So I'm going to grab my Memento Dewdrop in gray flannel. Ooh, I have something exciting I'm going to share with you guys. So because you're here with me tonight, you're going to get this before anybody else. So, did you see me just do that? My poor desk. It gets inked all the time. Anyway, I, on Monday, am going to debut a video for a guest designer gig that I'm doing for April. So I'm going to be part of the Mini Kit Monday Facebook group, in case you guys have or have not heard of that. What it is, sorry, I'm grabbing my wax paper here. It's a group that Becky Bidding, I think that's how you say Becky's last name. If you're listening, Becky, sorry. If I'm not pronouncing that properly. Becky started a while ago, probably at least it was more than a year ago now, and they create a kit every month. You create your own kit with some inspiration, and then you scrapbook every Monday. So I put my kit together yesterday and videoed it today, and it'll go live on Monday, and then for the next 3 Mondays you will see my layouts. So in addition to Tuesdays and Saturdays, I'll be doing Mondays. But honestly, you guys, a little advance notice, yeah, I have so many things in that kit. I'll probably be scrapbooking with it for a while, so you'll probably see additional layouts on Monday for a while. Okay, so I am not loving the mom up there with the silver. Part of it is I know that I don't have any other silver accents left, so I would like to put silver stars or something else around, and I don't have them to go on this layout. But I don't love the mix of the white and the silver together. So, that's cool, Virginia. So Virginia, you know about that group. It is really great. So I think I actually really like this better. The other thing is I don't like how crowded this gets when I add that up in there. So I think I'm just going to leave this like it is with the gratitude. And I think that that's so beautiful. And honestly, you guys, we're going to do more than one layout today because I love just the simplicity of this layout. I might add a little bit of something. I'm going to go through die cuts and that kind of stuff. So cool. Ella. Ella's a Mini Kit Monday fan as well. So I'm going to go through some of these die cuts here just to see if there's anything like this. Worth the wait would be cute, but it matches the background because she talks about how they were trying to decide if they would have a fourth child or not in the very beginning of all of this. She calls them the should we or shouldn't we, and in the end she said her last line to him is life is a whirlwind right now, but we wouldn't have it any other way. And she said to him, you might be living amongst the crazy, but you're loved more than we can articulate, and oh, we absolutely should have. So I just thought that was really sweet that he should see that that little from her love note to him, I guess. So we've got that welcome little one. I do like that. So, okay. So Ella says that she participates and doesn't watch the video, watches the videos, but doesn't participate. Yeah, they are amazing videos. I love their videos for sure. That's how I kind of start. Well, I was a follower of Becky before she did Mini Kit Mondays. So there is one that says our little dream come true, but it's in a plaid and there's already a plaid here. So I think I'm not going to do that. There's this hello little one. I think I like the welcome little one a little bit better there. I like the contrast between the two. Let's see, baby shower isn't appropriate. Here's one that says babies are the sweetest blessings. So, oh, and it's in the same plaid, so don't love that. Oh, this is cute. Little moments, big memories. So that might work up there. So they are done with having grandkids. So he's my last grandchild, but I do have a great nephew who you've seen his little boy. So my great nephew has a little sister due in June. So I'm excited about that because more babies. And I will be scrapbooking that baby too. So baby smiles. Not finding anything else that's exciting. Okay. Yes, so Brittany, what you do is they will post, when the videos go live, they will post some sort of inspiration most of the time, and then you go to your stash, and then you scrap from there. So that's what they usually do. So I can't tell you what the inspiration is, but there's an inspiration that's coming for April, and then you go into your own stash and then find, whatever you think is appropriate. And you don't have to like match the inspiration. Like if you go, I think I'm a Valley girl for those of us who are older with all the likes. So if you are inspired by one thing in it, that's all you need to do. There's no like, there's not rules. How about that? Because you could create a stash kit from anything that you own. You don't have to do it with anything specific. There is this cute "You Are Our Greatest Adventure" arrow, which is probably true, but again, it's the plaid, so I don't like it. So anyway, yeah, so it's kind of cool because it's very self-directed. And then if you want to, you can post your layouts to the Facebook group. So I'm thinking about maybe putting this little banner up here, in here somewhere, and I could do it kind of either way here. I have a little banner issue, you guys. If you follow me for a while, you know that. Yeah, and I definitely don't like it up there because it feels like it's crowding that. Although that's a little bit better. I do like, I never even thought about this, but their floor, he's laying on the carpeting, and the floor is right there. So that little Moments Big Memories is kind of cute there, like that. I've tried to use that moon before and it hasn't worked. There's another cute little chipboard piece here that says, sometimes the smallest things take up the most room in our hearts. So, Virginia, I'm sorry I missed your comment. Which way did you like it? The last way, the way I have it now, or when I had that in there before? Because I always consider your opinions. Notice I did say consider. I still reserve the right to not do them. So yeah, I do kind of like the banner. Okay, maybe I should do that. And actually, so I could do that with the banner, and I could kind of do this. I'm just playing around with it. I feel like it needs something. Well, actually, it does need something up here because I want to put a little note to him that this was Mommy's Facebook post. And I forgot to look this up. I was going to go back. I have the photo dated, so I need to look that up. But I want to look it up to tell him that this was Mommy's post for him on such and such a date. So I will do that when I'm all done. In the meantime, I've pulled out my box of Ellie Studio die cuts here. I was thinking yellow, but I know I don't have much yellow left in here. And I don't think I have anything big enough. I think this needs to take up a decent amount of space. So my other option is some green. I have a lot of yellow labels like this, but they're not big enough. So, yeah, I like it too, Lenore. I like it when you guys like chime in, because when you're scrapbooking by yourself, you can't really, you know, you can ask yourself the questions, but you don't get a lot of good answers. One of the things I do find is that if you take a photo of it, if you can, oh, I think I just found the perfect journaling piece. Look at that. This one says on this day. So I really like how that looks. So I'll tuck that in there like that. And I'm going to play with this a little bit. I think I'll cross over that. I say this often, that when you take your embellishments and you layer them over as many layers as you can. So this and this is touching, they're touching each other, plus the white card, plus the plaid, plus the background paper. So once I commit to how I'm going to actually do this, there we go. Yeah, like, isn't that funny how sometimes you just know it's not right, but you can't exactly articulate maybe why? So what I'm going to do is get this down, because that position will determine everything else. And I just realized I'm a little uneven here. So I have a little bit of time to play with my ATG. We'll see how much here. Okay, so we got that one. It's not completely permanent for a little bit, but it definitely gets harder if you don't catch it right away. And as much as my ATG gun and I can fight each other, I really do like it because it's a lot of adhesive for, like, I'm not changing it so much, I guess. And now that's crooked. Oh my goodness. All right. It's one of those crafty days. You guys probably saw that and were like, Kelly, it's crooked. Okay, so that looks better. Get that better. I haven't had that much wine, I promised you guys. this up a little bit so it lays up underneath that. And I rarely do what I did today, which is I left a white border on that photo. Because once I printed this, when I was trimming this photo out, it would have been really small compared to this, so I decided to just leave the white border on it. And I have nothing against white borders. I like them. I just don't use them all that often. Okay, so we have that. Then let's get the gratitude on because I know where that's going. This will be a simple layout, and I like them like that sometimes. But I don't think it needs a lot because it's such a beautiful message. So I will, once I finish this, I will send it to my daughter-in-law. So I will do that every so often when she sees that, or when I finish things so she can see them ahead of time. And part of that is because I don't give them their albums until a year is done. So they have not seen any of 2019 yet, other than what I might have sent them as I'm scrapbooking. Okay. So that's down, and this guy, and this is nice because I'm using some of the last pieces of this. And I don't know if my other nephew's going to have any more kids past their little girl that's due, so I'll keep the boy stuff for a while, but not forever. And I had 2 grandsons born, then a granddaughter, then a great nephew, then a grandson. So I scrapbooked little baby boys for quite a while. Okay, so back here again, and back here, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that down, but not very hard because I just decided I'm going to lift that up, but I want to get this in. Almost there. Okay, then I'll grab my foam tape. And I had a moment earlier this week when I thought, oh my gosh, this foam tape, at the rate I'm scrapbooking, I'm going to run out. And then I looked in my drawer because I'm like, wait, I think I bought one already. So I have another roll. Want to see how big my roll of foam tape is when it starts out? I'll grab it for you guys. If you've not seen this, this is crazy. So there it is. And I'm a freak about my foam tape because I use it so much. This is how big it is when it first starts out. So that's how much of this I've used. The first one of these I bought lasted me 4 years. This has been not even 2. So I'm scrapbooking a lot more. It'll be 2 probably just in a couple of months. But anyway, so you can get this on Amazon. It's just the Scotch foam tape. And I think this is the 1/2 inch. Yeah, this is the 1/2 inch. You can find it from a lot of different sellers. So do a little research if you're interested in it because the price can vary quite a bit depending on who you buy it from. So there's my giant roll of foam tape, which when I start a new one, everybody often will comment on that about how big that roll is. But I do use it a ton. Okay. So now we have that. So we have a title down. I have a little spot to journal just because I don't want to do much journaling on here. Just want to get the date on here. And then I'm going to probably move the camera for a second. So sorry about that, guys. But I need to get to my enamel dots. Or, now that I think about it, maybe I'll look at hearts. I always keep my enamel dots on a shelf behind my camera stand. And I always forget to pull them out before I get started. So let me see. There we go. I was thinking since it's a message from his mama, I'm thinking maybe some hearts first. I have a couple. These are Ellie's Studio and from a couple of different collections, but they usually have puffy hearts and puffy stars available often. Not always, but often. This one's going to need to be smaller. We'll get one over here. And then I was thinking about, oh, that would be cute, but I can't get the other one in here, but I could do that with an enamel dot maybe. But I think we'll grab and add a couple up in here to that. Ooh, Renee's organizing stamps and dies. Oh, that's a fun project. Are you using the Avery L pockets, or there's other versions of those pockets? So I did that about a year ago, and I really like the way that organization works. And I have a basket full of stamps and a much smaller basket of dies right now, just because I don't use them as much as I should. So I'm trying to keep myself from buying them. Ooh, and speaking of buying, you guys, I have talked about this before. So before I go any further, there's a lot of yellow here, but there's not a lot of yellow anywhere else. And I'm almost feeling like I might need something right here. But first I'm going to grab my enamel dots. So anyway, I did a stash freeze starting in September. And I did buy a little bit of stuff for my December daily, but other than that, that's all. And I used YouTube proceeds with, so thank you guys, seriously. It's not a lot, but you know, it's a little bit to finance the scrapbooking habit. But I've been really wanting to shop, and I had a huge cart full of stuff at scrapbook.com, and I said I was going to try to freeze for a year, and anyway, but you know, it's not a monetary thing for me. It's just I don't want to keep increasing my stash without using up a lot of product. Obviously I've used a lot of product lately, and so one of the big holes that I was seeing is that, guys, I don't know if I have yellow enamel dots other than that really bright yellow enamel dot. I'm going to go back through this one more time, but I think that that is true. So anyway, thought I'd do the freeze for a year. Have been really wanting to scrap shop for therapy, as a lot of us have been wanting to do. And but I wasn't letting myself. And then the big hole that I saw was in my boy scrapbooking product. Now, I don't have to scrapbook with a theme. However, I like to have boy product on hand because I scrapbook about so many boys. So I actually did place an order yesterday at scrapbook.com. And I only ordered the boy collection. That's it. And I ordered a journaling pen because my journaling pen is going dry. And I couldn't find the one that I like the best. They're out of. So I just ordered something else that I'm hoping is going to work. So, yes, I broke my freeze, but not too badly. I really kind of paid attention to what I was doing. Okay, so these are not what I would call probably the right color yellow, so I'm going to see if I like them on here. Oh, the other thing I have to show you is, let me see if you guys can see this. Do you see those fingernails? I don't know if you guys can see that. I actually have fingernails. Look at that. That's what happens when you haven't worked for 2 weeks and you're a massage therapist. So that's been kind of fun. I haven't had fingernails in 10 years since I became a therapist. So, and the reason I thought about that is I grabbed my tweezers. I keep forgetting now that I don't necessarily need to use those. Yeah, this is really too mustardy against this really buttery yellow. So that will be something I'm really trying to go through my enamel dots. And during Calvin Ball, I used a ton of products. So thanks, Virginia. I know, that is funny. It's fun. You know, all those little things, those little triumphs, right? Anyway, so next week when you see me, I might actually have some polish on my nails. I can't do it as a massage therapist because I can't work with nail polish on. But I'm thinking next week. I use a client of mine does Color Street nails, which is polished strips actually. And I like them better because I don't have to really fold. Oh, look at you guys. Oh, nope, too bright yellow. Anyway, so I will probably do that next week because I still have some from when I was on vacation. I just like my nails to get a little bit longer before I do it. Okay, so I'm doing a really good job at working through my stash, and I don't have a ton of stuff left here. So that's a good thing, right? All right, so I have these, which I think goes okay with the aqua color here. So I think we'll do, I'm going to put some down here and some up here. And this should never be that hard of a decision, but it always is. And I was thinking I might do some of this green. These are the enamel dots from the A Very Merry Christmas collection, which is a couple years old. I like the green and the blue went with this collection really, really well. And I generally like to use uneven numbers there. Oh, Virginia, you can't do your own. Yeah, I get it. I have pedicures once a month because not only do I work on my feet every day, but I also run. So taking care of my feet is a really big deal. And I was supposed to have a pedicure the week after the week that our nail salons were all closed in Wisconsin. So first world problems, but I actually had to cut my own toenails yesterday. They are not polished, but no one's going to see my feet because no one's going to see me. And then my other thing is I was supposed to have a haircut and I highlight, I don't color. I don't, even though I'm 56, I don't have that much gray yet. But I was supposed to have a haircut and color done the next week. I'm going to have a really lovely dark streak in the top of my head. So, but that's okay. It is what it is. And so is everyone else, right? So I'm thinking like I almost want another heart here somewhere. There we go. And now that I'm looking at this, now I feel like I want another enamel dot down here. And I do have one small one left, so let me see. No, isn't it crazy? It's one little thing, and I think then it's too much. But it does feel like too much to me. Okay, so I think that's done. So one of my actual favorite photos of him as a baby. That's funny, Virginia. I think there's going to be a lot of us, and I love that meme that talks about, you know, seeing your real hair color. So I used to be, when I was younger, I was blonde, and my hair, once I went through my 30s, really darkened. So really now I'm definitely brown. And so I'm highlighting since I was in my very early 30s just because it was the thing to do. And now people aren't going to see our totally, you know, are going to see my real hair color, which is fine because I keep my hairdresser doesn't do the underlayer of my hair so that when I pull my hair up, you get a contrast, which is kind of cool. So, so guys, Virginia says that her hubby told her that hers would be totally gray before her hairdresser opens. Now that's mean. Goodness gracious. I am very lucky. My dad did not gray. My dad passed away at 65, but he did not gray until he was in his very late 50s and into his early 60s that he really started to get gray. So fortunately, I am the one of his 3 children who is taking after that because my brother's really starting to gray and he's 9 years younger than I am. And my sister has been gray since her 30s. Okay, so since that was a pretty quick layout, I thought I might see if we have any more pictures of that sweet little baby boy. And we may not. I have lots of pictures here. It's just do we have things that, okay, so here's an easy layout for me to do because I know what collections I want to use here. It's just going to take me a minute to put stuff away because I know I'm not going to use this collection to do that. So hang on a second, guys. I'm just going to throw everything on the floor because, you know, that's what, yeah, I do. I totally get that, Virginia. I, on the other hand, did inherit his sweet tooth and weight problem, though, so I'm not that lucky. I always said that was the one nice thing he gave me. Well, I shouldn't say that. I love my dad, but, you know, of the personality traits or whatever. Okay, so we're gonna just gonna take this and throw it all on the floor behind me, which I don't normally do. Unless I'm doing Calvin Ball. Oh my gosh, I took a picture of my desk at one point over the weekend, and it was frightening. Okay, so I'm going to just run across my room and grab the collection to use with that. It's a winter collection, guys. So I just need to find it here. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I'm pretty well organized. So I have a big Caterpillar Pro trimmer. It's the platform version. I'll grab it. That just sits to the right of my desk, and I like it because it has the light to it and you can really see. But sometimes when I just am cropping photos like this, I'll use my Creative Memories trimmer that a really good friend of mine gave me. Oops. Might help if I actually trim the other part of it. So this is my granddaughter with her grandpa, so her mother's dad, not my ex-husband. And he took her out for a day just with the two of them. He's such a great grandpa. Oh my gosh. So, hey Nancy. Yeah, it's the coolest little, it's simple. And the thing I like about it, when you go to crops, there's this little drawer in it. So when I go to crops, this is where I stick my pens. Because it's just really easy to keep them in there and then I know where they are. That or whatever other little things you might not like. Okay, so I'll give it, this is Miss Mia here. And she turned, this is Miss Mia who turned 2 on Tuesday. And she has the most darling little kitty hat on there. That may be hard to see. Ooh, which reminds me, so since that's a little kitty hat, I've got some kitty stickers I'm going to go grab. Or enamel dots, I should say. So I may use one of those, we'll see. I also may not, just because I have a lot of winter product. So I have some remnants. I have a lot of chipboard. Somehow I ended up with a second thing of that chipboard. I believe I bought it accidentally. I don't think I intended to do that. But I still have some snow and cocoa left, which is perfect for these photos of her and Grandpa. I do have this. This is was a Simple Stories line, but I think it's a little dark for what I want. If I had the whole thing left, I would definitely do that with it because I think that's a cool background. I did buy this because I liked it. Yeah, isn't that cool? Well, and I tell him constantly what a good grandpa he is. He's very, very close to the kids. I live about an hour away from them, so I don't, I'd love to see them every other day, but that would be a little hard. So I actually, here's what I want to do. Even though I think that's a little dark, I could do this and combine these three. So then this might be photo play, not Simple Stories. Hold on a second. I think that's it. This is a photo play collection, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's part of this. So this is actually photo play, chill out. So anyway, yeah. Anyway, I tell him all the time he's a great grandpa because he is a great grandpa. So I'm just kind of looking to see, this is my last piece of Snow and Cocoa left that I have in a full sheet. So I'm thinking it's time to use it and just trying to see what else I might have out there. So I don't think I want to use these two pieces together. Maybe that one though. I have lots of things I can use if I choose this other collection, but I think I don't want to do that. So let's see. I feel like, let me show you why I'm not thinking I'm thinking I don't want to use that plaid underneath the photos, because if you look at it, do you see here? Okay, so I think actually that doesn't look too bad, but let me do this. See how much brighter those photos look on that big dot? And maybe the answer is that this is the photo mat, and then we do something like that. And I think that's the answer. Because my other option is this. Yeah, and I think that's the same thing, as I think it's not as bright. And this, I have this piece of pink. This is a piece from Snow and Cocoa, but it's not big enough. So yeah, that's the answer. So we're gonna pop these down. Now I wanna make this border fairly wide on these photos so that you can kind of see the dot. So there's a little cool history behind this photo too. So she's standing in front of a waterfall here that Grandpa took her to, and her mommy and daddy were engaged at that waterfall. So I think that's a cool little thing to preserve too. I actually have scrapbooked. I wasn't scrapbooking them, but I went back later and scrapbooked photos from their wedding, and then also their engagement photo. Okay, so I think we'll do that. I think her aunt was with Grandpa too. That's how that picture of the two of them got taken. Not that you guys care about it, but I was thinking, huh, how did that happen? And then I realized, oh yeah. Okay, then we might as well take this bottom off. Yeah, thanks. I do love that big dot. And she's a girl, and I scrapbook so many boys. She does definitely, like, she owns a pair of cowboy boots, and she definitely uses them. But it's funny because you'll often see her running around behind her brothers in the most darling little dress and like a pair of big clumpy boots, which that's perfect. And I will tell you, I said when she was born, she's going to have to be tough, and yeah. Her brother, who's older than her next oldest brother, is 2 years older than she is, and she's not taking anything from him already. He can make her mad. So I think what I'm going to do with this, just because the two pieces of paper here are almost the same, I think I'm just going to trim this so that you see a little bit. Because I don't think I can get enough of it otherwise. So I think we'll just a little bit here. So I'll probably trim it off about here. Okay, this definitely needs some inking because it's really hard to see. Now, what you could do, and I'm going to do this because I might want a little bit more, I'm just going to chop this. Not necessarily in half, but I'll just chop it. And that way, if you want a little bit more to appear on one end or the other, you can do that. I think, boy, these borders, they're kind of wide, and I want to trim them down a little bit. It's a little bit too much for me. As much as I want that dot to show, it felt like it was too much. Now I know the photos are the feature here, but it felt crowded on the layout. So let's try this. I'm going to ink these edges and see, because I think that's going to help me too. It didn't feel like it had enough breathing room with the white space. The white space in this case is actually an aqua snowflake, but so the white space is really breathing space in a layout. And sometimes it's white and sometimes it's another color. I could leave it like this, but I think I would like to get a little bit of this paper in here. I was just checking to see, now that I've trimmed this a little bit, if I can get a little, now if it was like, if I had this much of a border, I would definitely do that, but I don't. So back to the trimmer. Oops, and I got a little ink on that, which I think is okay. All right, and I think once I get this inked, it'll be better. So Brittany, yeah, so the first thing I can tell you when you're putting patterns together, if that freaks you out a little bit, and I will tell you, if you don't know this, I was an interior design major in college, and I practiced as a lighting consultant, so I did use it. But anyway, so I have the advantage of having an eye for color to begin with. Otherwise, I would never have done that. But the big thing is, to help you out, is work within one collection first, because the collections are designed to go together. So if you work within one collection, all those patterns do that. So, you know, they're designed to actually go together. Then the other thing I can tell you is use big, medium, and small pattern. Okay, so that's the big thing to think about when you're thinking about coordinating. And one of those patterns should have at least a couple of should have the colors that you're using. So here's a great example of this. This plaid, and one of the reasons I picked it is this plaid has the aqua. Obviously these two things are from the same collection, so they should. And then this pink appears here. So naturally my eye's going, okay, that's okay to go together. And then pattern wise, obviously the dot's the biggest pattern, right? Because it's a huge dot. Most of the time I would say a plaid is one of your medium, kind of like a medium. In this case, I think it's my small pattern, and this is my medium pattern. And I'm going to grab a piece of paper to show you why I think that. And I actually grabbed two pieces of paper if I can find a second one. It's going to take me a minute, guys. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Okay, so when I think of small patterns, a lot of times I think of a small polka dot like this, all right? So if I was working with this, and actually this does kind of work together, do you see how now I have more of a big, really small, kind of a medium? Or in the case of it, if I did it like this somehow, we have big, medium, small. That's why I said this normally probably would be a medium pattern, but it's not, okay? In this particular case. Or this even could be a small pattern. And try to ignore the fact that the color's awful, but see, tiny dot, I'm sorry, smaller, bigger, so that's medium, and then big dot there. So think of that in terms of whatever you're doing for your pattern, that you use a large pattern, a medium pattern, and a small pattern, and then a pattern that includes all of the colors that you're using in the other papers if possible. And so if you do that within a collection, they build them that way. So let me take this off. So these two obviously go together, right? So we've got in this particular case, this is probably the medium pattern now, and that's the small pattern. Let me grab something else from that collection. Here This is almost a medium as well too. Here we go. This is a good example. So this is all the same collection. Hopefully you guys are finding this helpful. Small. Okay, so small, medium. In this case, I'm considering this to be the large pattern because the repeat of the pattern is so large. Like your repeat to your pattern is this big. So I don't know, that's probably 3 inches. Here your pattern, well, your pattern repeat might be about the same here, but because the snowflakes are smaller here, I would consider this to be more the medium and this the large. But if I was going to use this in another layout together, what I would probably do is map my photo in this as kind of an extra piece in the background, this is the mat, or really what I most probably would do is do it like this, just because I like the way the color of this recedes a little bit more in the background, and this is more a little bit more face forward to pop your photos here. So small, medium, large here, but again 3 patterns, and then all the 2 other colors that I'm using appear in this pattern. So that's the way that it's really easy. Thanks, Annie. That's the way it's really easy to coordinate things. And again, start with a company in one collection and then move to something else as you go, where you can do like what I'm doing tonight, which is coordinating 2 different manufacturers here. But I'm looking for commonalities again. And as a matter of fact, when my mini kit Monday goes live on Monday, you're going to see me use a pattern that inspires everything else and the colors in that. So if you happen to watch that, when you're watching it, think about, you know, what might be your small, medium, and large patterns there. So that might help you guys as well too. So I'm glad you guys are finding that helpful. And then really honestly, just do it. I have a really good friend that I scrapbook with, and she was always really freaked out about that as well. And we scrapbook together a lot. She's like, oh my gosh, you grab paper and you just throw it together. And I'm like, well, okay, you are the dance instructor, because she owns a dance studio, and I was an interior designer, so I have a big advantage over you for this. But the other thing is I've been scrapbooking a lot longer, and you just have to do it. And just remember that your family looking at the layouts are not going to look at it like that. They're not going to be analyzing things like we are. We're way harder on ourselves than our families are. They're just going to look at how beautiful it is and what a wonderful job you've done preserving your photos. And just keep that in mind too. But just do it and practice it. And then after a while, it will start to become second nature. But do it with collections within one collection first, because that's almost it's not as risky because they build those as a collection for a reason. And it's so funny because when I first started doing YouTube and I first started working, that was one of the things that for me, it's really instinctive because that's my background, right? And I had to really think about why I do things the way that I do. So kind of interesting. Yeah, exactly. Outsiders never see, they don't see it. They just see what beautiful, and your family is just going to see pictures. And last year I had, when I gave the 2018 or earlier this year, when I gave the 2018 scrapbooks to my stepkids, my stepson's mom was there. So, you know, obviously we know each other, and we were kind of talking, and my daughter-in-law said, oh my gosh, you have to see this, what Kelly did. So she showed it to her, and as they pulled it out, they were all remembering the memories first, and then later on, and my daughter-in-law had already seen the books, obviously, so she had already told me how beautiful they were. But my stepson's mom said, oh my gosh, you know, how cool, what beautiful work you do. And of course I thanked them and all that, but the first thing was all the memories. And that's what you have to remember. That's why you're doing, well, I should say that some of us are doing it for escape or whatever. So I think I'm going to call this sledding, even though that wasn't all the stuff that they did. And I might add in with Grandpa in here somewhere. I'm going to see if the reason I have not taped that down is because I want to see how this is going to fit up here. So anyway, so back to, I hope that was really helpful for you guys. To understand what that's to do. And I'll try to remember to talk about that a little bit more when I'm doing, it's a little harder when I'm doing the voiceovers because there's so much to say in such a short time. This is so real time that I can give you my thought process, which is one of the reasons I like to do lives, is that you get a little bit more of an insight. You do a little bit in, well, I shouldn't say a little bit. You do get that. I try to give you that in a voiceover, but it's not the same as you sitting here with me as I'm thinking and processing and asking your opinions and that kind of stuff. So cool. Glad that helped. Because really that's one of the reasons I do this, is to help. I started doing YouTube because I learned a lot from other scrapbookers. When I first started scrapbooking, scrapbook magazines, and now I have to MacGyver a J into an I here. So in case you've not heard me use that term, that's what I call cutting up a letter or making a letter into another letter. Anyway, scrapbooking magazines were all the rage when I started doing that, and I think I subscribed to like 4 of them or something like that. It was awesome at the time. And I learned so much from them, and then started watching YouTube. And by the time YouTube really came along, for scrapbooking, I had been scrapbooking for quite a while, so I didn't learn as much, but I remembered how helpful it was for me to learn from the scrapbooking magazines, and that's why I started doing YouTube, is because I thought how cool that I can now pay back some of what I learned. So this is one of the reasons I use the wax paper, because now I can move this around as I want to. I like it sitting here. I could do sledding with Grandpa. I might be able to get the words day of in there. Can I do that? I don't have an F. But I could just do sledding day, right? So let's try that. Just to take that up, because that's too much space. And I'm using white just because I think that'll really pop off the background really nicely there. Which that definitely does. So now I'm going to bring this down so I can actually get that on there. And I did get my non-colored head in here, or non-colored hair in here. Okay. Okay, so this, I love this trick. I'm trying to remember who did this the first time that I saw it, and I thought it was the most brilliant thing ever. Oftentimes when I don't use a wax paper, I regret it in the end. So do you guys have scrapbooking plans for the weekend? Is anybody else going to be scrapbooking? I know Victoria Marie did a live at 2 today. She's doing lives a couple times a week. So if you guys are at home, and especially if you're at home and not working, I think she's doing them Tuesdays and Fridays. If you're not a member of, she's got a Facebook group, Victoria Marie Facebook FB group. She's one of my personal favorites. I might be prejudiced because I was on her design team fairly early when she had the Facebook group, but she's awesome. But it's kind of fun because you can like connect. You get to kind of connect with people. So, and she's doing live scrapbooking sessions often. So that's kind of fun too, where you can scrapbook together. And I think there might be one tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Don't quote me on that, though. So go to Victoria Marie FB, her Victoria Marie FB channel. But that's been kind of fun. So she does it on Zoom, and then you get like, I don't know, 30 or so people scrapbooking together. So if you live alone like I do, it's kind of nice because you feel like you actually meet people. Because right now, I was talking to a really close friend of mine who has a husband. So she said, you know, I said to her, sometimes I have to just get in my car and go for a drive somewhere so I can get out of my house and outside of my neighborhood. Because I try to go for a walk at least once a day, if not twice. And I said, but that's not the same because I'm still in my same neighborhood. So, anyway, we were talking about that, but at least when I'm doing scrapbook, like live scrapbook sessions, or I've been doing a lot of Zoom or FaceTime, like a lot of us are, or Messenger. Also, you can messenger people. That's funny. So Virginia is saying that her husband built her a scrapbook room, so she stayed in there if she's not in the kitchen. And which do you think she likes best? Well, of course you like the kitchen best, right? I say sarcastically. Oh, okay, so this is kind of cute. I just found this little banner that says boots, mittens, and scarf. And I just realized I forgot to... You know how I like to put my photos down and then I forget to look at the date? I just did that again. And the date's going to be on this photo. It's always on the last one I look at. Okay. Ah, cool. Brittany, let us know how it's working. That's really neat. So, yeah, I'm sure I will be scrapbooking tomorrow. It's the weekend, right? I have to often now be reminded what day of the week it is, because they're all the same. It's just, do I get to go outside or get to leave my house for something or not? Okay. So, as I was doing this, so I've grabbed the... Snow and Cocoa chipboard here. And the reason I did that boots, cap, scarf kind of thing is when Mitten's scarf is when she got that kitty hat. Oh my gosh. I've scrapbooked that picture already. I don't know if I did it in a video or not, but she was so cute in it. So that's part of what this is too, is that she's got that cute little kitty hat. And I don't have anything down there for journaling, which that would probably be a nice thing. I don't have a big journaling piece here, and I think my I think my L Studio stuff would be too bright, not distressed enough. So I may have to go and find something here. Just grabbing the snowflakes, chipboard snowflakes in colors that go with this. So again, really working with bringing the colors together here. You know, different colors, so the colors that are appearing in the layout that feel important. And also as I'm putting things on, I'm trying to touch all the different layers. So different layers here. I'm gonna go grab my crepe paper folder here quick. I can yell to you guys from across the room. I don't know how appropriate or how great that is, but I did it. Okay, so just gonna grab, I have like 1,000 sticker sheets from crepe paper, and I just want to see if I have anything big enough, and I may not, and I may need to grab my die cuts. This is the hard part about doing a live for me, by the way, is I feel really unorganized when I have to leave you for a second. So there is this black one. I could do that because there's black in there, but I'm going to grab my die cuts and I'll show you how I store those. So these are photo keepers from Michaels. There you go. And they're great because you can just take them to crops like this. And then I have my crepe paper. I label, like there's crepe paper and crepe paper Maggie Holmes, because sometimes I'm looking for something specifically that I know is a Maggie Holmes die cut possibly. So that's why I label them like that. But I thought I might look through this because I might have something that's a little bit bigger. Cynthia says she wakes up and says today is, I know, isn't that weird? I had a point earlier this week where I woke up and I didn't know what day it was, and it kind of freaked me out, seriously. And like I almost was panicking a little because I didn't know what day it was, which was kind of ridiculous, because I knew in the back of my mind that I wasn't working, but it freaked me out that I didn't know what day it was. So I have a feeling it's going to be a long time before I go back to work. So I should probably get used to this in all seriousness. Okay, so I didn't find anything in there. Like here, I know these are Maggie Holmes, so I would look for these in a Maggie Holmes thing versus just a crepe paper thing. Okay, I might have done a bad thing here. Oh, nope, it's okay. Because I'm thinking like I could attach this part way down and then like put this here. So that I might do. And I know better than that. I have to stick that to the edge of my mat, otherwise it'll come down. So then I've got this also as a journaling block that I could use too. The one thing is this is a little creamier than that, and this is so white up here. I just realized, yeah, you guys can see what I'm doing here. We have that little, that's a little bit too big. And these are all mixed together. You know, they're like the odds and end pieces. And yes, there are a lot of them. I've been really working through some of these collections lately, trying to really dig into some of this stuff. Because I keep my paper together by manufacturer and collection, and then when I've used most of it, then it just goes into a manufacturer like bundle or manufacturer envelope. And the same is true about the die cuts, and then I forget they exist. Just gonna trim this. Actually, I know I'm gonna not need all that, right? Nancy says that happened to her too. I'm glad I'm not the only one. It's just a really weird feeling when you've been, you know, when you go to work. And I have a weird schedule because my schedule, I have hours that I normally work, but depending on what's going on with my clients, sometimes I go to work earlier and later. So my schedule can be all over the place, but this has been really freaky and disconcerting. Okay, so the other benefit here is my little ink smudge there is going to get covered. All right, so we have that. Now, we have that, but it's really crooked. I've been laying down crooked tonight, haven't I? So I'm just kind of playing around here. I need snowflakes in a third spot here too, because otherwise they're all going to be on this side if I put this one down over here, and that's not going to look right. So I'm kind of thinking that this, and this are all a photo cluster, and unfortunately I put this down on the photo before I did this, or I would have shifted that, because I think I can't. Yeah. Yep. Too late. I don't love how I did that, but it's okay, because then I thought I was going to do this. That would have joined those two, and I really need to think about how I'm going to solve that problem I created for myself. So I have this one. This one's a pretty big one, so we could go here, or I could go here. The problem about going here is it echoes what's going on here. So I think right now I'm thinking about laying that one there, and maybe this one here. But I also want some of that aqua over here. Otherwise, I think it's going to look a little funny. Or maybe we do the gray. So I should be using my this pink felt too big over here. It was taking too much attention away. I do have another bright pink. And I have white. I have a lot of snowflakes here, so. I don't know, guys. It's just, that's not feeling right. It feels like it's crowding everything there. So, yeah, this feels like too much. So I think pink's okay. Pink, gray, pink, okay. Oh, funny, now I've taken away the aqua. Wait, maybe we go back to this aqua that we had to begin with and the gray. Or it felt like the color was too intense up here. And I need a third snowflake, so we'll figure that out. And then the pink there. Which one are you looking at, Cynthia? Which color do you like that I chose there? Sometimes I'm looking so hard at the layout, I miss your comments until it's later on. So hopefully I stayed with the one you liked the best. Then I think I still need, we need a little bit of foam tape underneath that one. Oh, the journal card, thank you. Yeah, I like that one too. The size of the other ones just wasn't right. See? We agree, right? Okay, so then I did say we need a third snowflake or something up here. I don't like this though because it's too dark up there, but I have other options. Like that white one. And notice how I totally forgot about the kittens, but that's okay. And I won't have a lot of journaling to talk about here because I wasn't at this event with them. Okay, so here's one of my weird little scrapbooking things. I've taken the center out of that snowflake, which you don't have to do, but I think I'm going to do. And when I had it first positioned, the way I really liked it, it was showing part of the pink dot and part of the picture behind it, and I don't like that when you get the two colors in a whole. So I either have to move it up so it's the photo or down so it's the pink hole, and I think it's going to go up. Okay, so we're going to commit to that. That's down. This collection does have some really pretty gold accents, but I haven't done any of those so far, so I won't I won't in that, but what we could do is I do have gold enamel dots. So I might add a little bit of that in. Or also these pink ones are cute, but I think they're too big. And that the pink ones are Queen and Company, since I pulled those away so quickly. Those are too big. Let's see. I may have used up my other gold enamel dots that were smaller. There's another thing that I've used up. Yay. I have stars, but I think they're too much. So, I have 4 little stars there that could work as a little extra color. Now, I do have plenty of pink enamel dots, or I have white. So either of those could work just as well too. Brown enamel dots. It's really reassuring to me that I'm actually looking for things and I don't have them. Yay for that. Yeah, I think I've used up all my small gold enamel dots. Well, yay me. And you are perfectly allowed to give yourself a pat on the back when you realize stuff like that, just so you know. Okay, now I'm back to looking for my white ones. This is how I store my enamel dots. It's a little bag from 31 that has this cute little pocket on the front that my sister-in-law gave me for Christmas years ago. And I immediately stored my enamel dots in it, and it just works because I can just kind of thumb through them and find them. And I think I might know where my enamel dots are. I have a big card of enamel dots, and I think they're in my kit for Mini Kit Monday. So hold on a second. I have to delve underneath my desk here for a second. And I can't show you the kit though. Especially since it has the inspiration piece right on the top of it. That would be bad. I don't want to get kicked out before I've even started. There we go. That's where they were. Okay, so once I start scrapbooking with that kit, I'm gonna keep scrapbooking with it until I'm done, because I think otherwise I'm gonna keep doing what I just did, looking for stuff and it's in the kit. So I did really think about this gold, but with the gray in the background, and I think it's a little bit just a little too much. So I'm going to try using the white enamel dots here. And just see what these are kind of weird because there's like a medium size, and then there's the little ones. But these are so big. I'll often do this, whoops, where I take it and I tuck it under something, which is what I'm going to do here, so that you still see the enamel, but you don't see everything else. Oh, that's a good. So Tammy says she has one of the bags for table scraps. Oh, that's cute. And for stamped images, that's actually a really good idea too. I could also do this one right there, and I actually think I like that a little bit better. Yeah, because it's crossing across. It's kind of bridging that gap between the journaling card and the snowflake. So then up here, this is so close to the size of that, it feels like that will be too big up there. Like there's so much going on up here already. There's a little more breathing room down here. So I think I'm just gonna stick to these little medium-sized ones, or the little tiny ones. So I've got a couple over there. And then I need one more down here. I'm going to glue this down. Some people like their edges up, and that's perfectly fine. I like mine glued down. I just do. And then I'll put another one there. So that's 3 down here. I'm going to move this one over slightly because it was in line with that one. And then I just need to get 3 over here. And I think these are the other 2 here are going to need to be little, just because it's one snowflake there. And oopsie, we'll get him on there and then put that one out there. Okay, so we have 3. So We have some different textures. This collection did have die cuts with it, but I've gone through most of those and I didn't have anything. But that's nice to get. So we've got the big pattern, the medium pattern, and the small pattern in this case. Thanks, Virginia. We have the snowflakes kind of spread all around, but bringing in all the colors that we use to pull everything together. And then we have the enamel dots for a little bit of a different texture there, and I don't have the dot for my eye on there, I just realized. And I'm glad I realized that because it came off on something else. So there's the dot for the eye. But so that's kind of a complete layout. Well, hopefully, I'm glad that we were able, well, I was able to tell you because you really can't talk, but I guess kind of you can. So yeah, thanks, Tammy. I do like the way the color palette pulled together here, that I'm still have her pink, because it's a little bit harder to see in these photos, but this is pink and her hat's got a lot of pink to it. So sometimes I put things on my layout because it helps me tell a story in my head, if that makes any sense. So that's why I really wanted to get pink on here, not just because she was a girl, but because I know there's a lot of pink in there, even though you can't really see it quite as much in these photos. But I'll do stuff like that all the time, where it might be something that if you ever looked at the layout, you might not understand that. So yeah, and I like the contrast with the white too there. So thanks you guys for, and I just realized that this, I'm going to see if I can pull this up, but I can't. So the way I was looking at this, I didn't see that little opening there. I might go back and see if I can find that chipboard, because that'll bug me. And if I can't, I'll just have to deal with it, right? Because I don't think I can take off I can't take the snowflake off without damaging the photo, and I don't want to do that. So anyway, you guys could probably see that. I could not because of the angle. But anyway, yeah, I think it's a fun color combination, and it started, remember, with this piece of paper, which is not from the collection of the other two, but we used all those little tips that I gave you guys to pull the layout together. And then as I was working with this, I started pulling this out, because these snowflakes that I used are actually from this collection, not from this collection. This collection, I should show you guys, let me see if I have them. I'm going to show you a pack, because this collection is really bright, actually. Here. So this collection here, with the gray plaid as well, has purple in it as well too, which would not work with the original collection of this as well. So it's kind of fun how if you just pull different, and look at that green, it's a really kind of acidy green. And I don't even know if Snow and Cocoa had a green in it. I don't remember. It's been too long. I think this Snow and Cocoa green was more of a minty green. But anyway, so just kind of cool how that you can look at a color in a pattern and pull things from that, even though the two collections might not really go together either. So that's kind of a little fun tip for you guys too. So I think that's it for tonight, you guys. Hope you guys are all well, and thanks for hanging out with me for a while tonight. It was kind of fun. So hope you have a productive weekend, and that you guys are all staying safe and healthy at home, and I hope all your family members are safe as well too. So bye guys, and I will, you never know when I'll pop on live again over the weekend. We'll see, but definitely I will see you all, not live, but on Monday for Mini Kit Monday. Good night, everybody.